Wilson Fisk has chosen to enlist the aid of some of the most dangerous and bloodthirsty criminals that the Marvel Universe has to offer. And with Fisk having learned the truth of what Daredevil has taken away from him, that of his memories, his past victories, those residing within New York will now have to pay the price of Kingpin's wrath. Devil's Reign issue number 5 is an open war issue. Its battles are intense and enormous, and at every point, things are made more and more difficult for our heroes. Nearly every single character that appears in the book is superbly portrayed, including the new inclusion to the Thunderbolts, that being of course Abomination, who provides the frightening prospect that places every one of our characters in danger. While on top of that, the most terrifying possibility is made into reality, as Kingpin, whom having just learned about his memories getting tampered with by Daredevil, basically says fuck it, as he releases Purple Man, merely to act as his purple wave of enslaved bodies and minds to bring the superheroes crashing down once and for all. Yet of course as it stands, these actions of Fisk will no doubt become his downfall, and the way Zdarsky handles this, almost like a Greek tragedy, is pretty dope. Not to mention that the manner in which he writes and sets up Kingpin's narrative is absolutely perfect. Because at the end of the day, no matter how hard Kingpin tries to do things in a less sadistic or less Kingpin way, he's only prolonging the inevitable, and in this case, the inevitable only leads to a more bombastic effect, which leads into Purple Man's invasion, but also with the brutal murder of Mike Murdock, who unknowingly to Kingpin was obviously posing as Matt Murdock, Fisk's true enemy. So yeah, that whole dilemma is quite crazy, and I'm definitely intrigued to see where all that goes. Another thing that the issue does pretty well, and maybe this is just my optimism or hopefulness speaking, because I just want more superior Spider-Man, are the developments surrounding Doc Ock. Doc Ock's impact on the events was put into serious question despite his defenses against Fisk's mind control abilities. Yet while Purple Man's powers may have tied off that loose end, Fisk uses the same abilities to tear New York City asunder, cementing his control over the entire population. And so it's clearly apparent that what we see occur in this issue regarding to the Superior Four might change Doc Ock's viewing, and who knows, maybe he turns a new leaf. But hey, that's just my optimism talking. Marco Cicchetto's art is breathtaking, and straight up it's fucking dope. The realistic style that Cicchetto enlists and the details added to the characters provide a different perspective for those characters. For example, the hanging straps from US Agent's helmet or the individual hairs on Daredevil's beard. These small little details make everyone look extremely real. And yeah, it's just the tiny things that you wouldn't really think of that truly breathe fresh air into this comic's look, even if they are monstrous inhuman beings like the Abomination. The amount of detail is simply incredible. The colors are also fantastic. Menez superbly adapts unnatural characters into this natural looking world, just as well as Cicchetto. Basically, the creative team is MVP status when it comes to comics. Overall, Devil's Reign issue number 5 is a great penultimate issue as it brings big splashy superhero moments to the forefront while evil dealings take place within the shadows. There seems to be a statement being made up here about superheroes being loud and ineffective, while true justice remains unseen where it matters most. This issue shows that this event gets bigger with every single issue. It's a hectic comic filled with action and dramatic changes. And even with the chaos and the larger-than-life characters, Zdarsky keeps the dialogue grounded, and the moments of quiet remain heavy. The book has reached a tipping point as everything starts to fall apart, and every final page of the series has shown that things can still get worse. Devil's Reign issue number 5 gets a 9 out of 10. Devil's Reign picks up with Mayor Wilson Fisk, remembering everything that he was forced to forget. And holy crap, Mofo is angry, folks, because for Fisk, he feels that this is the greatest violation that he has ever known. The loss of his victories, the loss of his memories, all at the hands of Daredevil, all at the hands of Matthew Murdock. Fisk is then suddenly interrupted by Wesley, who lets him know that the Thunderbolts have located the children of the Purple Man and that they are hauled up in a residential building. And so he's asking if he should give the team the go-ahead for their capture. And that's when Fisk turns around and tells Wesley to get it done, because I don't care about civilian casualties, whatever it takes. Later on at the apartment building, we see US Agent knock on the door with one of the kids answering it, and US Agent lets the kid know that he and his siblings are going to have to come with the Thunderbolts. And what the purple children soon find out is that their mind control powers don't work against US Agent, all thanks to the dampeners. And that's when Electro, Francine Fry, uses her powers to zap the building, neutralizing the children. Now, with having their target secured, the Thunderbolts load them into the Humvees. But this is where we see the arrival of the champions. Miles Morales' Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Viv, Nova, Ironheart, and they are all being led by Jessica Jones. And their main objective is to grab the children and to get them to safety. And as the battle ensues, with Ironheart being able to grab one of the kids out of the hot zone, Jessica Jones tries to reason with US Agent, reminding him that, these are just kids, and the only reason why Fisk even wants them is because of their mind control powers. But US Agent doesn't care, because John motherfucking Walker, he's a dude who's all about completing the mission. And it's with that where the Thunderbolts' newest recruit is unleashed. Thus, the Abomination begins wreaking havoc. Now, according to the Abomination, the reason he joined the Thunderbolts is because Fisk seemingly has information that he requires. Therefore, all Abomination has to do is uphold the law by whatever means necessary in order to get what he wants. And no doubt Marvel is just bringing Abomination back into the fold of things, since he's going to show up in the She-Hulk show. And so, with that, a few of the soldiers are able to sneak behind Jessica Jones and place a dampener on her, depowering her, and leaving her unable to defend herself against Abomination, who's about to smash her into the ground. But luckily, Spider-Man swoops her out of the way, and as the Octobots begin filling up the streets, both Spider-Man and Jessica Jones, along with the champions, make their retreat. Picking up with Mike Murdock, arriving at Butch's office, aka the son of Wilson Fisk, and the new Kingpin, Mike eavesdrops on a meeting between Butch and his men, which instantly stops as soon as he walks in. Now, once Butch orders his men to leave, Mike knows exactly what the meeting was about, for Butch is planning to take out the mayor. He's planning to take out Kingpin. And so Mike tries to reason with Butch, saying that, this wasn't supposed to be like this, because we were supposed to be different than Butch's dad. We were supposed to do this without any bloodshed. But Butch lets him know that the Kingpin's revenues have dropped 80% ever since Fisk filled the streets with the Octobots. In other words, shit can't get done without bringing loads of attention. Therefore, he has no choice but to remove his dad from power. Now, seeing that he's left with no other option, Mike finally reveals the truth, telling Butch that he's not real, for he has a magic stone called the Nordstone, currently hidden at Matt's place, which still has power in it, and he's been keeping it as an insurance policy, for it has the ability to fix the situation and turn the tide without any bloodshed. But Butch is tired of all this superhero crap, all this magical crap and costume dress up. It's because of this stuff is the reason why he's angry with his father. He wants no part of the superhero lifestyle. And so basically he dismisses the idea, while also telling Mike to act serious for once. Like, why don't you grow up, bro? Become an adult, because right now I have a business to run. Later at the Baxter building, we pick it with Doc Ock, Superior Hulk, and Fisk, who have imprisoned the Purple Man's children inside a cell that is similar to their father's. Now, Otto informs Fisk that they have drained all the power from the children, and that they have now supercharged Purple Man with enough power to control the voters and win the election, while also outfitting Purple Man with a control collar, just to make sure that he doesn't get out of hand. However, Fisk lets him know that he no longer cares about the worthless election, which prompts Otto to ask him about, what's your grand plan then? Because even with Purple Man's supercharged power, Fisk still can't get past Otto's neuro blockers. Basically, Otto is still in charge, but that is until Fisk mind controls Superior Hulk to escort Otto out of the building, remarking the reason why Spider-Man was always able to defeat him, because the villain couldn't think beyond himself. And boom, Superior Hulk rams Otto right through the wall, bringing them both down from the building. Thus it's here where Wilson Fisk lets Purple Man free, letting him know that the game's over, and that he's going to finally kill Daredevil. But before that, he wants the world to know that whatever happens next is Matt Murdock's fault. And so using his powers, he controls Purple Man, ordering him to kill every single hero that has ever tried to stop him from achieving true potential, thus giving him the orders to burn down the city if need be. Picking up at the hideout underneath the Avengers mansion, Luke Cage shows up after hearing about the Champion's attack on the Thunderbolts, and about Abomination's involvement, thereby making the situation at least 10 times harder. Luke Cage then wonders about the solution to counter Purple Man's influence regarding the replicator working, but Ben Reilly's Spider-Man lets him know that the devices should be functioning within due time. Now, this device, given to the heroes by Emma Frost, is key if Luke Cage is to stand a chance of winning over Wilson Fisk. Now this is when the conversation gets interrupted by Joseph, the child of the Purple Man, who suggests that the only way to stop his father is to kill him. However, Daredevil butts in and lets the kid know that he gets where he's coming from, and that, they do need to stop Fisk and his father, but they can't do it by killing them, because that's what separates the heroes from the villains. This is where Daredevil gets a phone call from Kristen McDuffie, letting him know that there's been an uprising at Murberton Penitentiary, and with Foggy out of the picture because of his assault issues past, she lets Daredevil know that she's going to go over to Matt Murdock's place, because like everyone else, it's time for him to step up, as things are getting worse, especially downtown New York, where currently a riot has broken out. And speaking of downtown New York, we have the Superior Wolverine and the Superior Ghost Rider arriving to aid Doc Ock, as Superior Hulk apologizes for losing control. Suddenly the Thunderbolts arrive at the scene, telling Doc Ock to stand down because they are not here for him, to which we see the arrival of the Avengers, with Captain America leading the group into battle against the Thunderbolts and the Superior Four, and thus the streets of New York become an all-out war zone. And to add more to the mix, Purple Man arrives at the scene, following Fisk's orders, and he is mind-controlling all of New York's citizens against the heroes. A purple wave has commenced. Picking up later with Mike Murdock arriving at his brother's apartment, he finds it to be trashed up, and as he begins looking around for the stone, he eventually finds it exactly where he left it. But it's here where Wilson Fisk is shown towering over him, and with murder on his mind, Fisk beats the living shit out of Mike. He beats him so bad that Fisk eventually throws Mike's body across the wall of the apartment, only to continue beating him to a pulp, tearing into him for pretending to be blind, pretending to be a hero, but more importantly, for fucking with Wilson Fisk, fucking with the Kingpin. And thus Wilson Fisk, in his mind, has now killed Matthew Murdock. But we know that Mike is no more. Mike Murdock is super dead, and things are about to get pretty awkward, because this entire scene, this showcasing of horror and brutality, was witnessed from the doorway by Kristen McDuffie. And that, folks, was the end of Devil's Reign, issue number 5. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. And as always, I'm your majestic sayer over at SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for Devil's Reign issue number 6? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.